got none.
All right, man. It is Sunday night. It is 7:30-ish. Once again, that means it's time for another edition live in the Man Cave. This is Polk Hoops, your number one source for high school basketball in the state of Florida. Tonight we got the All-State coach. What's going on, sir?
Happy Sunday, Coach.
Yeah, happy Sunday, man. We also got me, Coach Corey J. Um, PG will not be with us tonight. All-State PG got a prior engagement, first of the month, business calls and all that thing. But the show must go on this side of the world. So we will keep it pushing. So, had a lot that happened this week, Coach. A lot that happened that we'll talk about here in a second. But a question to you.
What you got, Coach?
How do you develop team chemistry when you are two scenarios? How do you develop team chemistry with multiple transfers and or a bunch of young new kids? How do you do it? How long does it take? Is it possible? I guess it's anything possible, but chemistry, because at this point of the year we got 28 teams, 28 boys teams, and 28 girl teams that are still left playing, right? Because we got 4 times 7, right? So, first of all, congrats, and we'll talk more about it in depth later. But we got 3 of those 56 are from Polk County. So, how does that happen? Is it as easy? Is it a hard thing? Or I don't know how because at this point here, people still playing have to have some type of chemistry, right?
Yeah.
They have to be they have to have figured out some type of secret sauce, some type of right mix to make it work. So if you got your lab coat on and you're in the with the beakers and all of the elements, what goes into creating team chemistry that will have you continuing to play at this time of the year?
Coach, I think it's several factors that play into that. One is the culture of the program, and I start with the head coach. What type of culture is he building? Is it a positive culture? Is it a negative culture? Is it a family culture? So the tone is set with the head coach. So therefore, when he comes in, he's gonna set expectations. He's gonna set what type of environment that we're gonna be in. And there's several things that he can do. Like one, you got to set the temperature of what practice is going to look like. But it's also equally important that you develop relationships on and off the court with your kids. It's important that you do stuff on and off the court with your kids. Because you're not only a coach, you're a therapist, you're a doctor, you're a Uber, you know what I'm saying? You wear multiple hats.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you got to make sure that you develop the whole child, the entire child, and that's not only on the football court or the field or whatever type of sport that you're doing. It's important to do team activities, um, to develop team chemistry. But how fast or how long does that take? It really depends on the maturity of the kids and the and how they mesh together. I'm not gonna say that it always worked. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others, but the thing is you got to be consistent. You have to do something in making sure that you develop those relationships individually and as a team.
Okay. First of all, Mike, no sir, this is not an Omega shirt. This is a Avenger shirt, sir. Marvel superhero shirt, sir.
Well, what's
But
wrong with
secondly,
Mike? Mike, worry about the wrong thing, sir. It's okay.
secondly, Frank, I guess Frank is kind of pushing back a little bit, Coach. Look at what Frank said. Shout out to Frank, man. Frank in the chat.
It,
Frank put up
but
the
the
Duke,
thing is though,
Orange County. Gave us some updates. So appreciate you, Frank, on that last night, man. But go ahead.
you don't have to be friends. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have an intimate relationship outside of the court. You know what I'm saying? But it's got to be a working one though, Coach. Like I said, we ain't got to like each other, but at the same time, you saw what they did on the court. You know what I'm saying? Communication. It wasn't a negative environment while they was on the court. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you have to hang out or anything, or that you gotta do things.
But do you think that because Jordan, Pippen, and Robin was pros is different in
Mhm.
high school? Like the younger you are, the older you are, you can kind of get away with that stuff, right? Can you really? If I'm going to school with you, I see you in the hallways and lunch and stuff. Can I get away with not being cool with you? And in high school now, college, maybe college, because you ain't necessarily, seeing each other like that, but and definitely not in the pros because you're grown. But can you get away with that in high school?
I don't think so, Coach, because one, um, like I said, I need to know that my teammates and my coach are gonna have my back too. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna be there for each other. Like it's a accountability thing. If I see a teammate about to do something stupid, it's important that I step in. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Let's move on. Let's make the right decisions. Whatever, whatever. But at the same time, I gotta protect my teammate. If something go down, like what I'm saying, I'm gonna be there for him just like a brother. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
that's
So I think
what
the
you are, right?
yes. So
Yeah.
the younger sports, I think is very important. That they develop that chemistry and do those activities. When you become a professional, I think you can be a professional. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you don't have to like each other outside of work. Um, at a professional level, they paying you enough money to make sure that it doesn't spill over to the court and be detrimental to the team.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Mike with the good guys got the win tonight at the men's league. Shout out to Jameson and them guys they year round over there, coach. Them guys don't never stop playing at that men's league, but they take a couple breaths and they right back to it. So
Man, it's
um,
something positive for the
that's
for
great,
the
man.
older
And
guys.
the talent level, the talent that's a precursor to the alumni, man. Some of the names that I'm hearing that they starting to pull up over there and play. They had, the top. They say the number one draft pick this year was Capers, Lil
Okay,
Capers. Yeah, so he don't know number one speed. That's
that's
a
it.
thousand. So men's league or whatever. But chalk talk, coach prop for you, and you gonna have to probably deal with this, you and Johnny, and we'll shout out you and Johnny here shortly. Obviously, we know this the men's show. We're gonna, y'all family, so whatever. If they don't like it, they'll be all right. Um, it's shot clock and it's 5 fouls per quarter before you shoot, right? Is that it?
No,
5 fouls, or is it like every quarter? Don't the fouls reset every quarter
every
for
quarter. Shot
for
clock is not mandatory this year.
well, let's just say shot clock
Okay.
is in place. Shot
Shot
clock
clock
is
in
in
place,
place
5 fouls. Got you.
and it's 5 fouls.
Got you.
How all right, and let's just say you don't have a deep bench. So you don't have a lot of fouls. How are you managing the shot clock and the fouls, knowing that they reset every quarter? Or is there any strategy or rhyme or reason to that? Or do you coach it like you used to, or do you coach it different? Even if you take out the shot clock with the fouls resetting every quarter.
No. I do not coach it differently. We don't coach it differently. We really take it as the flow of the game, and who do we trust and who don't we trust with those certain fouls. Like back in the day, especially when we were playing and whatever, once you got two fouls in the first half, like people like sit them down for like the rest of the half. That's not something that we do um, with certain players. We like me, I'm a big strategist when it comes to that. We'll go offense, defense. So I take them out on a defensive possession and I just keep running them in and out. I'll mess up the whole flow of the game, coach. There'll be a sub at the table every time it's a stop ball. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna do everything possible in order to protect that particular player. And my players know that. You know what I'm saying? And every now and then they'll ask us to trust them, but at the same time they trust us. So like that two foul thing, I got rid of that a long time ago in the first half. We'll still, take opportunities to put them in. Like I said, if it's a defensive possession, stop ball, they're coming out. And we'll just try to get through the half as best as possible. The shot clock, coach, really doesn't affect us. It's not many high school teams that's taking 35 seconds to take a shot. When the shot clock becomes strategy is in the second half, and when you're trying to hold on to a lead because you got to take a shot. And the thing is try to be patient, try to run the shot clock down as much as possible, and then try to get a decent shot at that. Now defensively, is really when it comes in because now I really don't have to foul, what I'm saying, in order to get the ball back. Because at some point you got to put the ball up. I just got to make sure that I have to rebound, and that's what I love about the shot clock. So I'm really constantly monitoring where that shot clock is, and if it's the shot clock is still running, then like I said, we just got to have a great defensive possession and make sure we rebound. If its shot clock is off, then we probably can't afford for a lot of time to tick off when we got a foul.
Coach, you just made a point about having somebody at the table like all the time. I was watching the good guys yesterday, Duke play, right? Playing Virginia. And they got this thing, I guess in college now that I didn't realize, but they got where you can challenge, you got a coach's challenge, but you also have like an appeal. And so I guess the appeal is if you think it's like something flagrant, something out of what happened they didn't catch. So the referee can go look at it. But you know how the players be trying to tell the coaches to challenge something. They'll tell them. So the guy was like, this is what a lot of coaches doing. I'm sure you and Johnny do it too, is what coaches are doing now. They'll send somebody to the table to sub to give their people that's watching, that they assistants, time to look at it on the screen, on the monitor to see if they should challenge it or not. Because, you got to slow the game up while you're subbing. So the Virginia coach sent like 2-3 people to the table while his people was looking at it. And it's obvious that's what they was doing. And then you can see where they told him, no, don't challenge it. And then he just let stuff play.
Mm-hmm.
That's not illegal, coach, right?
No, coach, I would do it too. I do it. I do it to save time out.
If you know the coach and know that's happening, it's nothing you could do about it. But I mean, that was just crazy to hear that. But it's not illegal.
No, coach, I think it's a great strategy. I use it to save timeouts. You know what I'm saying? When my kids are shooting free throws or the other team is shooting free throws, you know what I'm saying? And I want to get instructions. Maybe I bring all the kids to me. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm giving out instructions. But then I won't send a sub to the table until the second free throw when they give that person the ball. And then I'm sending somebody to the table because they got to buzz them in. And now I'm still trying to talk my kids through it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of using a timeout, you know what I'm saying? In order to do that, they'll give me a timeout because they got to buzz the kid in.
Man, that's so frustrating. And I know when I was a coach and you knew folks was doing it. What's the name? He used to do it. Oh my God, he used to do it. I get that, right? I get that that's a strategy. But at some point, does it become too much where now the game don't even have like a flow to it? Like it's just chopped up so much. But I guess that's the strategy. I'm trying to chop game up and not because that's what's his name did. Old boy Kathleen Taylor used to do that. Drew Taylor was sending 100 people to the table. Man, I mean, you couldn't get no flow. He was sending 100 people to the floor table, and then the minute he get up on you, he go on that four corner that you couldn't get a turnover because his guards were so good and they were so good in it. But
Coach, just think about it, Coach. Most high school teams, especially, are rhythm teams, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you get into a rhythm and you know that snowball starts to get bigger and bigger, now it's an avalanche, Coach. It's hard to stop. But if you never get into that flow of rhythm because the other coach got a strategy where he's always getting ball stoppers, then I think that's a great strategy. You know what I'm saying? Like, have I used it before? Of course I have. You know what I'm saying? Have people tried to use it against me? Yes, but at the same time, we come in defensively no matter what. So you can try it, but a lot
my
of times
thing
it
with that,
doesn't work.
coach, my thing with that, okay, I get it. Say if I have a lesser team, right, and your team I'm playing like a if
Mhm.
I'm none of this Mulberry people Mulberry watching it. If I'm Mulberry playing Lake Wells in 2012, okay, even when Lake Region went to Lake Howard and almost knocked them off, okay, but if I'm Lake Wells or during that time, if I'm Kathleen, I'm going to the Civic Center every year. Do I really need that strategy with the guys that I got? Does that make sense? That would seem to be a strategy
Mhm.
for the underdog
Mhm.
as opposed to the favorite. If I'm Debo, Debo don't need to fool you. You know Debo coming. You hit a bicycle. He drive real
Mhm.
slow. You know what it is when he pull up, right?
Yes.
Debo don't have to fool you. He don't have to have no strategy. He don't have to have no game plan. He just he Debo. Late West 2012 was Debo. Them Kathleen teams was Debo. So
Yeah.
why are we
You knew what
chopping the
was
game
coming.
up and we Debo?
Yeah, you
Just
knew
be
what was coming.
Debo. Yeah, I mean maybe I got a different perspective of it, but
I think
you
I
know,
think in Drew's mindset, Drew wasn't from here. You know what I'm saying? I think that came with him from north of the border.
oh okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that sometimes that does happen. You know what I'm saying? They so used to basketball from where they're from, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand that they don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Them
But
kids hated it, coach. Them kids hated it.
I know.
And I know because hell, the kids he was coaching, I coached with the
Mhm.
five. I raised them. So I knew
Yeah. So
if I'd been anywhere with Jenkins, which they weren't coming to Jenkins like that.
mhm.
I wasn't getting all of them. If I was in over Jenkins, hell, they would have been playing with me. But it's Kathleen. It's the name on the front. They, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was because of where Drew was from. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
it
And
could have
he
been.
he did a lot of the stuff that, worked, from Canada and the
And,
type of
and,
basketball that he was used to.
and he was successful. So you can't really knock it because hell, he won games with it. He almost won. He got to the state finals multiple times with it. So clearly, it worked.
Mhm.
But you know, everybody got a strategy, coach. So and we
So I
gonna
I have a question. I got a rebuttal question.
okay.
I see teams now, right, go on a huge run, coach, and they call timeout.
The team that went on the run is called the
That
timeout.
went on the run. How do you feel about that particular strategy?
I ain't calling timeout until you tap out, but maybe. And I mean, you see it a lot more than me. Maybe is it the fact that their guys need a break? I don't know. Maybe their guys have kind of tapped. They feel like their guys about to tap out, so they're trying to. But the only way I would call a timeout if we done put a run together is if I see my guys needing a break. Two or three of them needing a break.
Mhm.
Then maybe. But I don't think I've ever called a timeout when I jumped on somebody. I don't think I ever have. Because most times what happened, in all things being equal, the other team either call a timeout or if I see a couple of my guys getting tired, I'm sending somebody to the table so we can keep going. It's a
Mhm.
dead ball. I can shove guys in and we can we can continue with it. But No, I don't feel like I would call on timeout
Yeah,
on
but I'm
purpose.
seeing more and more teams do that while they're on their run. They're helping the other team out by calling
Yeah,
timeout.
you definitely helping them out if they ready to tap out and you giving them a lifeline. No, it wouldn't like I said. Only way I could see myself doing it if I feel like my guys are starting to tap
Hmm.
and and we ain't had no, you know what I'm saying, it ain't no been no stop and play. Because normally once you kind of do that, coach, once you get a couple, you go on a run, at some point you're gonna get a dead ball. It's something gonna happen, and
Yeah.
then you can get you some more guys in. But no, I personally have never called it if I'm up. No, you're gonna have to, but that's the only scenario I can see. But it's a lot of, you've been doing it for a long time, coach. I don't coach no more. I guess now I'm the media, so I just watch, right? But coaching has changed, man. There's a lot of folks, and I don't know if it's analytics. I don't know if folks just feel like they got to do something. But it used to be a time where good coaching was just letting you guys go, just sitting down and letting you guys go. But it's a lot of folks now that, okay, we up 10. We don't went on a 10-0 run. We on 12. I gotta do something. Time out. Like, no, you don't gotta do nothing. Here, go up 20. Go on a 20-0 run. Go on a 25-0 run. Like, it seemed to me, I watch a lot of basketball now. I ain't coaching, but I watch a lot, especially, Polk County, so I can make sure I'm knowledgeable about what I'm talking about. And I see it's like folks are trying to show that they're a
They
coach
can
more
coach.
now.
They
Yeah,
can
that
coach.
you don't have to show you're the coach. You the coach. We can check Max Props. We can check your website. We can check your souvenir, your program, and see you the coach. We don't necessarily, but it seemed, and not saying no names or nothing, but it just seemed like there's a lot of folks that wanting to show they're a coach now, as opposed to just letting the kids just go.
Coach, you saying that they overcoach, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? Some people overcoach every play. Every single thing that happens on that court, they're yelling, screaming out instructions about. That's just not me. That's not my type of strategy. I've actually been criticized because, especially when I was coaching boys, I didn't say much. You know what I'm saying? But all coaching is done in practice. You know what I'm saying? That's when you're yelling, screaming, instructions, corrections, all that stuff happens in practice. When you're in the game, you just got to manage the game. You know what I'm saying? Um, I did most of my talking. I still do most of my talking when we're on defense to help talk them through, what's going on defense. You know what I'm saying? Like on offense, I'm not over coaching, everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta trust your kids. If you instilled it in them when they get out there in front of everybody, it's gonna flow. You gotta trust them. But a lot of kids, coach, they get gun shy. You know what I'm saying? They start to get nervous because you're always yelling or you're always saying something. You always criticizing you. And now they don't know what to do. They don't know whether to play. They don't know whether to take chances. They don't know whether to take that shot, make that pass. So now they're guessing or they become, passive because, they don't know what they're going to get from their coach. You know what I'm saying? Every coach has different personalities. I agree with you. You don't have to overcoach every play. My thing is, if you're going to stand up, you should be communicating to your team. Some of them need to sit down, coach. Some of 'em some of them just be standing up just for no reason. Some of them need to just sit down. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
Coach, could we agree that, and I you tough on coaches. I try to give them a pass, right? But and sometimes rightfully so, right? Sometimes, but can we agree? And we don't have to if we don't. We're not puppets, so we don't necessarily agree with each other if we don't agree with each other. But rewind back to last year at the state semifinals.
mhm.
The North Tampa Christian guy coached his team out of, in my opinion,
No, coach, that is facts.
that
That
he
is
coached himself
facts.
out of that, coach. If he just sit down and shut up, they would have no disrespect to Victory, but they would have beat Victory, in my
Coach,
opinion. Now,
three
and no
times in a
disrespect to
row,
Victory,
he
but
give it to the sixth kid guy at half court under 10 seconds, expecting him to make a shot and make a play. 3 times in a row, coach.
in a row,
If
coach.
me, I'm trying to give it to him on the block. You know what I'm saying? Where he's closer to the basket at the free throw line area.
Because Victory had nobody. Like this year, Victory got some trees down there, but Victory had nobody that could handle him on the block. But he kept bailing Victory out because he wouldn't put him on the block.
Mm-hmm.
He would not put the kid on the block. And I'm like, this kid is like top 20 in his class in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Not in Hillsborough County, in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I just so in that case, that's what come to mind. Because I'm finna segue into you right now, because we're gonna do you first before we do the boys. Shout out to Winter Haven girls basketball. If y'all been on the rock Friday night, they won yet another regional final. Coaching, I think sometimes people minimize it because I tell 2 minutes all the time. I tell PG this all the time about his business. I say, bro, you make it look so easy.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize how hard it is what you do. I know that I've been rocking with you, 30 plus years or so, so I know. But you make it look so easy. People think it's easy. And it's hard. It is hard work to do what you do to get to this point. You and Johnny, I read your post about this is year 12, 10 Final Fours. Coach, y'all make it look so easy that folks don't get how hard it is to continue, not to get there one time,
Mm-hmm.
but to continually get to the Final Four. Not for the district or the region, I'm talking about for the state. And so, and this year, y'all probably had more of a challenge than y'all had more doubts, and this probably been the most doubted Winter Haven team, girls team I done heard in a long time. But y'all still there. Y'all still there. A year later, you're still the 1 seed. So just talk about for a minute. First of all, congrats to you and the young ladies and Johnny and the coaching staff on getting there again. Like I said, let's not lose arguably your best player on your team in the state, in the region, and still get there. How satisfying was this one? I know you still ain't done. I'm just talking about we want to give you flowers right now, though, right? You and Johnny your flowers right now. How satisfying has this one been? How does this one rank with the other ones? And what next for the folks that, just what's the sauce? I know you ain't trying to give it because we know a Corey watching and we ain't giving them nothing. I know you don't care, but we ain't giving them nothing. So just talk about it for a minute, Coach. Just for, a minute, 2, 5, how long you want to take to talk about it. You got
All
it.
right. So where this one ranks since I've been over there is probably number 2. The number one was when Trinity Hardy was there and we had to play defending champions Tampa Tech in order to get to the Final Four. And we was an underdog. We had like 6 people and we ended up beating them, going to making another Final Four. So I think that's number 1. To me, this would be number 2 because we lost our top scorer. We lost our leader as far as Serenity Hardy goes. Like, it's so much she did, off the court and as far as her leadership ability. You know what I'm saying? She's the one that encouraged. She's the one that actually was the coach on the floor. She was always teaching, even in practice. You know what I'm saying? She's working with her teammates to get their game better. You know what I'm saying? So just to lose that, we could hear around the state like, oh, they done. You know what I'm saying? But they forget, you know what I'm saying? Quinn Sanders, coach, she's the best defender probably in the country, coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is like that. She is her. You know what I'm saying? And she's just as good. And with Serenity going down, I think it speaks to Johnny Lawson and the culture that he has built there at Winter Haven. You know what I'm saying? With me to come in, I was just in addition to, but that culture was already there. I just helped him enhance it on one more level. You know what I'm saying? Where we are consistently competing for a championship, where it's realistic every year. You know what I'm saying? So now we feel with the team that we got, we still got a chance to win. But I know that there's doubters outside of our locker room. We know that there's doubters even, within the county. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna win without Serenity. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna do this, they're not gonna do that. But we feel that the work that we put in with those other kids is about development, coach. We've been preparing them from this moment, and those kids have stepped up. You know what I'm saying? Like Elise McCready. You know what I'm saying? She had a 30-point game the other day. You know what I'm saying? Now she comes back with this game where she had 17 and like 9 or something like that. Victoria Hall had 14 blocks in the game, coach. She's the eraser back there. You know what I'm saying? The other kids, they're really contributing.
That's
You
a
know,
video. That's a video game
so
streak. Get 14 blocks.
14 blocks, coach.
That's crazy, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Coach,
And,
I watched it when y'all played, when y'all in Georgia and y'all
mhm.
played that team with them big girls, and they just kept throwing. She was the only one in there, coach, and she was going at every shot. She she think every shot she's supposed to block, man. And I sat there and I watched it, and I'm just like, you don't have boys that go at
No.
it like that, coach. I mean, that girl thinks she don't think nothing's supposed to come. I mean,
And that's
that's
what we tell her and we teach her in
yeah,
practice that she is to
definitely
contest
definitely
everything.
listening, but she definitely listens.
She's supposed to contest everything, which makes us even more aggressive in passing lanes because if we make a mistake, we know we got her back there to erase it.
She
Coach
ain't playing.
Q had 12 steals, coach. You know what I'm saying? She had 27 and 12 steals. You know what I'm saying? That girl is different.
She
You
had
know
to
what I'm
make
saying?
her. She had to make. And the thing about it, what I loved about Q is, to me, that was her rewarding her teammates for having her back. When
Mhm.
she wasn't able to play against Riverview and how they held the line, and she came back and and that's kind of where I was going with the chemistry thing earlier. Clearly, y'all had got to have some chemistry to lose a player like Serenity,
Mhm.
and then to lose a player like Q.
Coach, she don't practice all week. She didn't
That's
practice
what
all week.
that's what I'm saying. To lose her essentially for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and for her to come out there for them girls, like you said, the young lady that got the 30, and then the Hall lady kid who got it's got to be some chemistry there because they didn't flinch, right? They didn't flinch. Kevin Pruitt, he always got a joke. He said you're gonna sleep well in a couple of weeks because they actually had the coach. But
He lying.
I mean, you having the coach, but it's like that chemistry obviously had to be there, and so now that y'all got to go to Duval, which we done found out today, FSSA and Duval, we not happy. We're not pleased that you got the ladies playing at 9 o'clock in the morning. I mean, how you the one seed? How you the number one team, and you got to play the Breakfast Club game? That is bananas to me. But what can you do? Once they put you out there, you got to do it. So y'all that's going next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, the Winter Haven girls have to play at 9 o'clock in the daggone morning for a state semifinal game. That's so crazy. But anyway, it is what it is, Coach. The opponent is Accord. They next up. They in the way.
Mhm.
So I know you've been at it all day, and so y'all got 2 weeks. And then after this, y'all, we're gonna segue into the fellas. We just wanted to get the girls, the young ladies, they flowers on you as well because it's well deserved, and that's we about kids. So
Yeah.
gender doesn't matter to us. We just always respect for Polk County girls basketball. For y'all to ask why we don't talk about girls more, it's not that we don't want to. It's just a matter of respect for the job that they do. So we never one thing we never gonna do on this platform is be disrespectful. So
No.
that's why we don't talk more about it. But
Yeah.
coach, what
And
is
just know that Polk County girls, they basically like we have a brother relationship. We work together. We're not in competition. You know what I'm saying? But going into that, coach, yeah, they didn't reward us. First of all, we've been the number 2 seed probably for the last month, so we end up jumping the route to get the number 1 seed. So we play Ocoee. We played them in the Final Four last year, so we're very familiar with them. They've been looking forward to playing us all year. There's been some talk, some messages sent over to us. Believe me, we keeping receipts with that.
mm-hmm.
Coach, yeah, coach, yeah. We've
Oh,
been
they
keeping
probably
receipts.
really feeling froggy now that Serenity not playing. They probably
Yeah,
feeling real good about life
they're
too, huh?
feeling real good about themselves over there, and that's all good though. We welcome that challenge. But coach, I want to take this time out to thank Coach Mike Blicker over at Santa Fe. He did us a huge favor when it came to Q this particular week and giving her the opportunity, what I'm saying, to get in the basketball gym. And I cannot thank him enough for his contribution to us this week. Q came out a different monster, and you can tell the work that she has been putting in. So we happy about that. Like you said, we got Chloe 9 o'clock in the morning. The kids been watching film. We've been texting pretty much all day. Um, Giving us 2 weeks to prepare, I think, is a mistake by Florida high schools. We're really going to dissect everything. First of all, it gives us time to get our bodies right. It gives us time to, continue our skill development stuff. We're going to be big on conditioning this week, and we're going to get a great game plan together this week, and then we're going to narrow it down next week. And coach, and we're gonna put our best foot forward. Our job is to bring another state title back, and we have the kids to do it. We have the coaching staff to do it. We have the confidence to do it, even though we doubt it, not only by people in the state, but people here in the county. You know what I'm saying? Um, and
That's a little extra motivation, all right, Coach? Like,
oh,
y'all, when the last time you been doubted? It's been so long. That's got to feel good. Like, okay, that's what we on. All right.
coach, it's supposed to be Polk versus everybody, but what I found out that everybody's not happy for you, and that's okay, and you don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? Um,
It's
I
supposed to be, but that ain't it, Coach. And that's sad, but that ain't it. That
Yeah.
ain't it.
So what I'm gonna do is continue to celebrate, everybody in Polk. I'm gonna continue to, um, encourage everybody in Polk. I'm gonna continue to support everybody in Polk. Even though we talk basketball on here, just because maybe I, think somebody has a better team or whatever, but with me, it's Polk versus everybody. That's just the way it is. I don't really care. It's been people ask us for film on teams in Polk. When we've been in the playoffs this year and years past, and coach, we're not giving it up. I'm sorry, but we can't help you. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to help you.
Coach.
Beat any team in Polk. That's
Because
just not going to happen.
there's people be in the inbox, the Polk Hoops, asking questions about folks that is in Polk County. Doesn't happen this year. Like respectfully, okay, we that's not how we operate. I'm sorry.
No.
Good luck to you.
Hmm.
But no, not we can get you film on anybody, but no, if you playing one of us, then no, you just gotta go
Yeah,
for
we're
what you
not.
know.
I can't help you when it comes to that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But the thing is, coach, Serenity going down actually brought us closer together as a team and as a coaching staff. We really we probably communicate even more now. She was like a safety blanket, coach, because we know she'll take a big shot, she'll hit a big shot. Just having her there, probably like relax us now. But now, coach, we're really stepping up in practice. And with the little things, the little details, what I'm saying? We get a lot of shots up. We're working on shooting, we're working on ball movement, we're like better offensively now because the ball is moving, everybody's getting involved. Um and we just like what we have right now. We like the chemistry, we like the our coaching staff, and you still gotta beat us, coach. Defensively, we still the toughest team in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? We think we can hold people to basically under 40 points. And I think that'll give us a chance to win every time we come out.
Oh yeah. Coach, like I say, we biased, but we got good bias. So all right, man. Well, that's the latest, y'all. We wanted to give y'all a chance once again. Next Friday, 9 a.m. You're heading up to Duval. Might need to go Thursday night to get your hotel so you can be there. They take on the Coy. Once they win on Friday night, then the championship game is on Saturday, 7:30 p.m. So at least they get all day. They get the prime time game on Saturday night, but didn't do them any favors on the state semis. But once again, just another obstacle for us for the ladies to walk through. So once again, congrats to Coach Johnny, Coach Billy D, all the young ladies, Winter Haven girls continue to represent the county themselves, their family, the school, and the parents at a high level. So they won the region and they on to the Final Four. So on the boys' side, last night we had 3 regional final games. We had 1A Victory, 2A Santa Fe, and 6A Bartow. So first up, and I was, shout out first of all to Chad Jones, who was giving updates while he was at the Santa Fe game. Shout out to Frank, who was giving updates at the Orlando game. And I was here trying to do triple duty, trying to tap in on each game here and there, watching them. But first off, in the 1A bracket, Coach called it the Victory Invitational. So I guess Victory finished off the invitational part of the tournament. They annihilated Donahue Catholic. I think when I clicked over to them, it was 39-12 at halftime. I'm like, man, I ain't even, but they won 74-26. And so shout out to Victory for winning another regional championship and going back to the state Final Four for the second year in a row. And unless it changes, Coach, the Final Four for 1A, 1 seed is Sagemont. We'll be taking on the 4 seed Central Florida Christian Academy. The 2 seed is Impact Christian taking on the 3 seed Victory. That game, the 1A game, will be Thursday. They will be this Thursday, March 5th. I don't know if they're playing at 3 o'clock or 7 o'clock. The game times for the boys 1A. Shout out to Miss Savannah Shaw for sending the schedule of all the games. She sent it, and she sent it to me like Thursday.
Yeah.
I say, well, I don't want to jinx the boys or the girls, so I ain't gonna post nothing until after they play. So now that they play, so Victory got the 7 p.m. game against Impact Christian.
Yeah, because Impact from Jacksonville, they want prime time. Try to get everybody.
It's a home game for Impact Christian. Oh man! So now that the Victory Invitation is over with, let's talk about. That's a big boy matchup, Coach. That's a big boy matchup. Impact. So Victory essentially last year, Victory essentially had a home game, and now they're essentially gonna have a road game, a true road game. And I know Coach Blicker said that Impact Christian played Providence in that facility, so they already got some experience with that facility. So talk about Victory Friday night state semis. Do we need to talk? We don't even really talk about the regional final because that just happened. Everything happened what we thought, right? So what we thinking about
that at the beginning of the season?
Yeah. So shout out, I see Coach Collins in the chat. Coach Collins, congrats, man! You going back to the Final Four, man. I know we couldn't get there with the Knots. We knocked on the door a couple times, but we couldn't kick it in. So congrats on you, man, and Coach Fitzgerald, Lil Fitzgerald. I want to say his name wrong, and all the young men that for Victory Christian on making it back. Once again, that is not an easy thing to get back. So what needs to happen, Coach? So Victory conceivably are going to play Impact Christian, and then on Thursday, they win Thursday, they would get predictably Sagemont, right? But we got Impact first. So what's your early thoughts on Impact Christian versus Victory on Thursday night?
So they played each other in the summer. I want to say it was in the live period where Impact beat them by 2, but Q was there. You know what I'm saying? So
was Christian there from Temple Prep?
I think Christian was.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly, but Christian was there. But I think Impact beat them by 2. So they're very familiar with one another. I think Impact has an advantage because it is a home game for them, and also that they have played in that gym. That was very strategic because now I found out they had some type of shootout or something where boys and girls was able to play there at UNF on that particular weekend. So they knew what they was doing, Coach. They wanted, for those teams that had the potential to make it to get experience in that gym. And that's what we just talked about as a coaching staff is how our kids is going to react to that particular environment. Like Lakeland, we are used to. You know what I'm saying? We're used to going to Lakeland. It's you know what I'm saying? So now we got to get used to a whole nother type of environment. You
I
know what I'm
used to
saying?
always wonder why more teams didn't. Maybe it was the Civic Center. But why more teams didn't do that here when it was in Lakeland that
It
with
was the
playing
Civic Center.
games?
You know what I'm saying? They wanna, you know, maximize their profit. Most of
Be
the time, they
crab,
were, like, charging too much to try to
be
allow people to use it.
crabbing. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So what does Victory need to do, Coach? Just go be Victory.
They do, coach. They gotta play they have to be great defensively, and since the end of the season until now, they've been really, really good. You can see that there was a shift with Coach Fitzgerald, Coach Collins, um, the younger Fitzgerald. You can tell that they have been intentional with their defense, and that's what it's going to have to take in order to beat Impact and Sagemont in order to win a state championship. Defensively, coach, they're going to have to be great. They can score with anybody, but can they stop people?
And that's the thing that's been most impressive to me is that they scored a lot of points, Coach, but they're not giving up. You scoring 100 points, but you're still not giving up at 25. You scoring 89 points, you're giving up 30. You scored 75 last night, you only gave up 26. So they haven't given up but more than 30 the entire. So it's one thing to be that much better than the team. It's another thing to actually
Hmm.
beat them. You know what I'm saying? Being that good, you still got to go out there and play and beat them. And like you say, you feel like y'all number is 40. Y'all hold them under 40. Y'all in great shape. But that's been the most impressive thing with me about Victory is how they always play hard. They always well on offense, but they have really seemed like they have committed to guarding people. And like you say, it's gonna take a effort, but Victory got a squad to do it though. So it's not like they going in. They've been playing. They played a tough schedule, so it's not like Impact Christian's going to be like, oh my god, type situation. And they get past Impact and they get Sagemont. That's a rematch from last year, right? And
I mean, they've Coach Fitzgerald has put together the schedule to prepare them for this moment. Only thing is that for the kids that haven't played, like Christian, like Thought was hurt last year. The other big kid, Eric, was hurt last year. You know what I'm saying? They got to go in and get comfortable really, really soon. You know what I'm saying? They got to get over whatever jitters may come with playing in the state tournament really, really soon and get into a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? I think it starts with defense. If you play great defense, you're able to get a couple easy buckets in transition. I think that the whole goal will open up and they'll play well. I expect MJ to have a really, really big game. I think the X factor along with MJ has got to be Miles. Miles got to control the tempo of the game, and Miles gonna have to hit open shots also because I think they're really gonna key on Christian and Tucker, and they're gonna try to control MJ down low. So somebody else is gonna have to contribute. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's Stock, whether that's Miles, whether that's the
I like.
TJ kid.
I think the Canadian kid, the TJ
Yeah,
kid, is the X factor. I think he gets sneaky baskets for him. So
he
I
does.
think.
And
But
he's
I
been
do agree with
actually
you about
playing
Miles.
coach, the second half of the season, he's been contributing.
Yeah,
I think it just took him a while to get used to this type of basketball, but
he's
you can
gotten
see
better.
flashes
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, you can see what they was talking about, Coach. He's
Yeah.
he's much more consistent with it. I definitely agree. Um, and that's a good point, Franklin. Do you think the fact that they were just in the Victory Regional hurts them because they ain't played nobody in about 2 weeks?
No, I'm pretty sure Coach Collins, in the background that he comes from, they really getting after it in practice. You know, they can't control about who's in their region. People said the same thing about us in 2012 because we ran through, our particular region. I don't think that's a bad thing. It actually probably give you a chance to get some other kids in because you never know what happens. You may get up there and get in foul trouble, then you might have to play somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And just throwing them out there, and hopefully that they're ready to go. So it's able to get some other kids some playoff experience. Also, staying healthy, coach, is important.
Yeah,
It's really important. So I don't think it hurts them. They have enough big games up under their belt in order to know what this moment really means. I'm pretty sure what if I'm Coach Fitzgerald, I'm reminding them what happened last year and that we came up short, and that's what I'm driving in them in practice. All week. Like we got to change that narrative. We have a chance to win the state championship this year.
we have a legit chance. I
Hmm.
guess. Okay. All right. So shout out to Victory, man. So once again, Victory Thursday, 7 p.m. Regional champs of Region 3 1A. And so they 2 games away from history. And obviously we team Victory all the way. So 2A, coach, we had 2A Region 3, Santa Fe, once again. And shout out to Coach Booker, man. Guys got it done again. They won the region. They knocked off Benjamin. The score was 50-36. So they are returning a year later. Coach, I don't think a lot. Well, I know we did, but I don't know if a lot of people gave them a chance to get back, even without tape. I think they might have sold Santa Fe a little short. They might have. I don't know. Like I said, I know we kind of felt early on all year that they would be in good shape, but it wasn't as accepted as it was last year.
Yeah.
So, and Coach Blicker, I tell you, it's a whole different team. He never said anything about last year. Anytime we had him on the show, on the page, he never talks about last year's team. But one thing that this is not last year's team. The thing that Santa Fe is doing very well is they are guarding people, coach. They are playing. They are playing. They are solid on defense. They are real solid on defense, and I love the way that Newkirk and Shannon are playing. Going off with Toby. Toby gonna be Toby, but so they won. They beat Benjamin. It was like a slow
Yeah.
kind of slow roll type of grinded out type of game. But you got to be able to win different type of games, right? You got to be able to win them up and downs, and then the team try cause that team was trying to take the air out of the ball. They was running that 4 corner offense
Hmm.
where they was spreading the floor and throwing 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 passes. Clearly, they didn't want to get into a running match with Santa Fe, and Santa Fe was able to adjust and got the win. So the Final Four for 2A, the 1 seed. So once again, shout out to Coach Blicker and his staff, Coach McKay and the guys, man. Like once again, that is not easy, y'all, to do it one time, much less to do it back to back. So we don't want to lose sight of how big a deal this is. So 1A, you got Providence is the one. 2A, you got Providence is the 1 seed. They play in the 4 seed, which is North Christian Academy. The 2 seed is Miami Country Day, who beat Riviera Beach Prep, coach, last night. And Santa Fe is the 3 seed. So everybody assumed it was Riviera Prep. So they're not coming from down there, coach. So what is it that Santa Fe, and so honestly, me, coach, I had looked at Riviera Prep. I hadn't even looked at Country Day because I just thought it was a stamp. That's why you go play. That's why you
That's
got
how
to
you
play
play
the
the
game.
game.
So now
That's
I got
how
to go
you
look
play
at Country
the
Day and see what they got. But I'm sure you kind of got an idea. But I hadn't looked at them because I didn't think they was coming from down there. So
I did not expect that. You know what I'm saying? Because Riviera Prep was loaded, and they even loaded up right before the season, getting Olympia's best player. Miami Country Day is more known for their girls program. Coach
exactly.
Swabby does a great job down there with the girls program. But I knew the boys program had been getting better. And now looking at their schedule, coach,
And they went in the Riviera Prep and beat them. They
yeah,
beat them on the road. So
you
that's
know
even
what I'm
more
saying?
impressive.
And their losses is not to bad teams whatsoever, which lets me know that they're a pretty good team themselves. But I think this is a positive for Santa Fe. You know what I'm saying? Because Santa Fe has been there before. They got experience there. I don't remember Miami Country Day boys being there. So there'll be a brand new team, walking into this environment. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to look at what the players have this week. But I really like Santa. I think this was a plus for Santa Fe for sure.
Santa Fe plays on Friday night. This Friday, y'all. They play this Friday, either the 3 or the 7 p.m. game. They may have the actual game time now, but
Hold
they
on,
play.
let me check. I think they do.
But they do play on Friday against Miami Country Day. They win on Friday. They play on Saturday for the championship. So 1A and 2A championships are
It's
and
at
3A
3 o'clock.
at 3 o'clock. So they got a 3 o'clock game, the matinee, and then they win.
Yeah, of course, because Providence got the 7 o'clock game.
Providence is the home team up there, so they got the late game. So we could have a back-to-back. We're looking forward to having a back-to-back like we did last year, 1A, 2A, victory in Santa Fe. The 3A, which we don't have anybody in 3A, but just for y'all that's might be going up, the Final Four for 3A, Calvary Christian, the one from down south, they the 1 seed. The 4 seed, they will take on Nova Southeastern University. The 2 seed, the Villages. The Villages went into Lake Highland Prep last night and beat Lake Highland Prep.
Yes.
And they will be taking on Andrew Jackson from Jacksonville. So be some good basketball up there this week if you choose to
Coach, I don't know if you've seen this, but Max Preps put out something and they had the top 10 basically brackets in the nation. And I want to say number 3 or 4 was 3A in Florida. I think
wow.
California's open division was number 1, but 3A was like number 4 in Florida because you have Calvary Christian, you have Lake Highland Prep, you have the Villages, Windermere Prep. You know what I'm saying? You had those tough teams, so
we gotta figure out a way. I don't know if we can do something at Polk. We gotta figure out a way to get Discovery out that region, Coach. We gotta. Weez and Broke and Coach Pride, they over there working hard, man.
They better appeal immediately. They better appeal immediately. If I'm them, I go up.
We gotta get them to 4A. Yeah,
again, I go up.
I think 4A is them streets in 4A a little cleaner than them streets. Them streets get a little grimy in 3A. Frankie, yeah, they.
So strategy.
Them streets ain't clean. Those streets ain't clean in 3A, man.
Coaches. Strategy for coaches. If you want an idea on where you're going to be at for basketball next year when they reclassify everything, look at the volleyball districts. So when volleyball districts come out, it will be 99%. It'll be identical for the basketball districts also. You know what I'm saying? So if you want a strategy about where you think you're going to land at for next season, look at the volleyball districts when they do the reclassification.
All right, free game, y'all. Y'all got your pen and pad. I'm writing it down. I'm taking notes too because we got to do something, man. We got to get these people. We got to get these people out of. Hey, Frank, we got to do something, man.
Frank said, "Don't
help them out, nah, man. We got to help our Polk people out, man. Them streets, we got to get them out in them streets, man. It's tough in them streets. So, all right, man. We had one more regional final, man. It was 6A. We went over to Orlando. The Bartow Yellow Jackets had a return trip. Last week, Bartow went over and knocked off Edgewater, who was the 2 seed. They went back this way, and this time it didn't end as well. For you all that don't know, it's Heartbreak Hotel for the Bartow Yellow Jackets. Started the game off hot, jumped on the people in their gym, was leading the whole game. They was up 7 in the third quarter. And then I don't know where the offense went, Coach. I guess it got on the bus before they did. They only scored 4 points in the fourth quarter. And sadly, Bartow lost 46-40. So it's jersey to the left, short to the right for the Jacket. So Coach, I watched it. I know you watched it too, Coach. They It was so I felt so bad, man, because Coach McGriff, it's a play. I guess he been saving his play because he didn't run it the whole game, but he
Mhm.
ran this back door screen, and for his kid to get the ball right at the basket for a layup, and the kid missed the layup, and he missed it twice, man. Like two straight possessions. He ran the same play for him, and I just don't know. I watched it and I still can't figure out like what happened. Like what happened? You coach, what they and so it was a 17-4 because it was 36-29. They ended up scoring 46. So it was a 17-4 fourth quarter. I know we had a little Polk County kid because we gonna say he Polk County even though he's not over there. He was last year. A lot of people didn't know who he was when we was talking about him. The kid Butter
Mhm.
Hardy that was at Davenport, and he left. So if he stayed, all the top players in the county, he right there in the conversation, like legitimate in the conversation. And anybody who went to the game or watched it, y'all can see why we were so high on the kid because he wouldn't let them lose, coach. He would not
Right.
let them lose. But I don't know. Go ahead, coach. You got
Coach,
it.
the kid is tough, you know what I'm saying? And I actually, because me and him talk pretty much every day, and I actually miss having those conversations with him. But I've been keeping up with him. But my thing is with Bartow, right? If you look at Bartow's season, all their losses they scored 50 points or less, right? I said, what I'm saying, that they had to score 60 plus. I
You did.
also said it
You
did
did say
not
that.
go well for them going to Orlando twice for them. It's tough to go over there and beat those people, and let alone going over there twice and beating those people. I think I still think Edgewater was the better team. You know what I'm saying?
Coach.
I still think Edgewater was the better team. And they put together a great effort to go out there and beat those people. It's just that they didn't give their best effort in this one, especially offensively, coach. It just wasn't enough. Bartow is better when they're scoring 60 plus. You know what I'm saying? You can't score 40 some points with that team and expect to win a ball game. Scoring 4 points, in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? And Coach McGriff coaches behind off. I watched it. He coaches behind off. You know what I'm saying? I think their youth came up. They had some really tough turnovers in the fourth quarter, coach. And I think that's where their youth showed. Unfortunately, it ended this way. But it's nothing to hang their hat on. I think they had a great season. It's something to build on for next season. Just it's unfortunate that the Cotton Kid and Jay is gonna be gone.
And the thing about it, coach, them people they kept switching like they was playing like different type of zones.
Hmm.
So clearly they and they was hugging Crosby, so you can know the game plan was not to let him get off, which obviously that's a great game plan, right?
Hmm.
Um, but it's like clearly they wasn't trying to run with Bartow, which is interesting with them because
No.
them zones they was trying to slow Bartow down and
Mhm.
it was effective. It was effective. Um, it just it just seemed like Bartow jumped out on him. I think they was like 11-0, 9-11-0. And I'm like, okay, okay, okay. But by the end of the quarter, I think it was like 14-9. And I was just like, it didn't seem like Evans was doing nothing, right? It just seemed like it didn't seem like they was doing nothing. And PC Gridiron, shout out to you, man. I agree with you. Bartow couldn't turn them over. Well, they did at first, but then I guess the people kind of settled in and
Hmm.
then they stopped. They was turning them over, and then they couldn't turn them over. And like I said, I'm watching the game, and even now talking about it, I'm still trying to figure out like how they lost that game. I'm watching it live, and I'm like, how they were in control the whole game.
Hmm.
Like they were dictating. The people made a run at them. I think they got it down to like 2 or like 23, 21 and a half, something like that. But then third quarter, they jumped back out on them, got it up to like 9. It was 7 at the end of the third. And then
I think coach, and it's not. I don't think it was the coaching staff. I think it was just the way the game went. I think the kids was just trying to hang on, you know what I'm saying, to win instead of, just really trying to take them out. You know what I'm saying? Staying aggressive offensively, you know what I'm saying, really getting after them defensively, trying to get those easy buckets in transition. Because it was really, really tough to score. You know what I'm saying? But I just think they were in the fourth quarter, they were just playing not to lose instead of just trying to take them people out.
you think they took the foot off the gas.
Yeah.
Frankie made a controversial comment, Coach.
Oh. I mean, you know, Frank is a lot. He was there in person, so he really could get a feel of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I was
What
watching on the network. You know what I'm saying?
push back on you, Frankie? Why you feel that? Tell me what you feel. What make you say that? What you thought? What just put your coaching hat on? What you thought happened that impacted the game from the coaching standpoint? Shout out to Zora Lewis, man, one of the top Bartow alumni, top fans, great guy. Um, yeah, he was just kind of sitting down there. Zora, I noticed that too. I and maybe they taught him, maybe they coached him to just not even come out there. Just I don't care what they do out there, you just sit in the paint. But I noticed that he sat in the paint and he was in there racing stuff. Like you talking about your girl go at everything. That jitterbug was going at everything in there. Like whether he got it or not, he definitely was, and that could have been it. He definitely was affecting their, the stuff
Especially in the
going to
second
the
half,
basket.
coach. He made
Yeah,
it tough to score down there in the second
yeah,
half.
he was a deterrent. Let's say it that way. So when he
Mhm.
wasn't blocking it, he was going at it, and
Yeah.
he definitely was affecting some stuff. Um, yeah, he was affecting them shots, Zora. I agree with you on that. He definitely was. And it seemed like his coach just told him just stay in there. Kind of like you saying, Coach, if they get beat, you back here. Like you say, y'all girls don't worry about getting beat on the perimeter
Mhm.
because of the president's side. So he was a presence and he was active. That's what I'm looking for. He was active.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. I think they did not allow Bartow to get out in transition like Bartow like to do. And like you said about the defense, Coach, you said that last week. Um, um, he they were not able to speed Evans up. They were not able to turn them over, and that played into Evans. And I keep saying that, but even with that, Coach, they was up double digits, like playing that way, playing to how them people was playing. That's just
Yeah, and like I said, they had some bad turnovers, especially like down the stretch when it was a 2 point game, coach. I want to say they had like two turnovers in a row where they didn't even get a shot up. You know what I'm saying? So I think when the game really got tight in the fourth quarter, especially like under 2 minutes, the kids got tight. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I did.
unfortunate. It's just
No,
unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? But it either way, man, those kids had a great season. You know what I'm
I
saying? I,
saw.
I really don't want to take that away from them.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Is it BD? I heard about it though. I didn't. You couldn't see it on the while you was watching it.
Yeah.
But they say that James and his dad kind of got into it. That's kind of
And if
unfortunate.
that's the
So,
case, that's unfortunate too.
yeah, and because that shit, like Frank was saying about earlier about your point guard with team chemistry, you got a point guard. You kind of and them kind of games, that coach, your point guard is sometimes you gotta just
And you can't have that because he's so young, coach. He might not, able to control that yet. You know what I'm saying? And still stay poised with what's going on in the game. Maybe next year, as a junior and definitely as a senior, he'll be able to, be even keel with his emotions. But
Yeah, that. I gotta say, my heart go out to McGriff. Y'all know me and McGriff been family for 30, 40 years. The whole staff, they definitely the kids, the fans. Once again, y'all showed up again, man. Y'all was in you traveled
it
over
was packed,
there,
coach. It was
and it
wall
was
to
so,
wall.
yeah, man. So you showed up for the man. It was a great crowd at Santa Fe too, man. So I was impressed with how we when I'm saying we because we family how we showed up for the kids. You just hate that, man. But like you say, they young, and all year long, the youth had not caught up, hadn't affected them. So maybe last night, and it's a 1 game season, right? It's a 1 game season, and the youth finally because they young. They only got 2 seniors. They got Crosby and Kai and Kenny, but everybody else will be back, and they got a very young team, and so. Is it possible that the youth finally caught up with them at the worst time that it could have happened? I know they sick, man. I know they sick, man. Yeah, Zori, man. You see, if y'all notice, and I ain't even posted last night. I couldn't even do it. I just, I did the scores today, and I had to put the scores, but I ain't even put last night that they lost, man. I was so blowed. I'm like, I'm not even posting that in the day. Somebody asked, then in the chat or somebody text and ask, I give you a separate answer. But as far as me posting it, I ain't even posting it. Y'all know I'm consistent with scores and posting and stuff,
Yeah.
but I was a sore loser and I wasn't even there. So, and I'll own that because, like I say, we were so we were so much better than them people, man. And I'm saying we because we were so much, in my opinion. Now, I'm not speaking for the PG or for the coach, but we were so much better than them people. But you still got to go win the game, though. You know what I'm saying? You still got to go win the game. It wasn't no shot clock. It wasn't no shot clock. So even with that, I was like, hell, I'm up. Y'all sitting in that zone. But that ain't Bartow philosophy. They attack. So maybe taking the air out the ball could have helped some bring them out that zone. Because I think if they would have went man on Bartow probably would have ate them up. But they set in that zone, and that zone was effective. It was effective how they kept switching, and they would go 1-3-1, and they was going like a 2-3, 3-2. So they kept switching that little half court stuff. So I'm sure that Bartow never really got into a consistent rhythm. And like PC Gridiron said, they couldn't turn them over. But man, I'm so blown. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm a sore loser on that one. So 6A, man, we still got to talk about it, right? The 2A, I mean, they when I looked at the 4 teams, Lake Howell. When I looked early, they didn't have them like bracketed, so they probably got it now. But Winter Park, Lake Howell made it. Evans made it. St. Thomas Aquinas made it, and Tampa Sickles made it. So that's your final 4 in 6A. St. Thomas probably would have been a tough one, but I really think Bartow could have beat Lake Howell or Sickles, and they would have got one of them in the first game because.
Yeah, like I said, whoever won that game is gonna meet St. Thomas in the championship game. I said that last week. I'm still standing on that. So I expect a repeat of last year of Evans and St. Thomas. But I think St. Thomas is better than they were last year.
How sick you gonna be if you're a Bartow coach, player, fan, anything affiliated, even Polk County period. I know definitely me. Evans gonna make it to the ship, man. They're gonna make it to the ship, and I'm sitting here like, man, these people, we at least 10 points better than these people, man, and we lost. I'm sitting there watching, and I'm just so like, I'm just head coach. I'm shaking my head like, no.
Yeah, because I watched the first half, and they were up, and I was really
Coach, they were dominating them people in their own gym, man. Coach throwing his towel. The coach was throwing stuff. He was snatching people out the game. He was screaming at folks. I'm like, they was turning the ball over. I'm like, man, we got these chumps. I think I text, not you, but I texted one of the groups. I'm like, oh man, we got these chumps. That's what I'm saying, coach. At like mid first quarter. Then they made a little run. Then we jumped back on the third quarter. I said, okay, you expect a team to make a run in their own gym, right? So you knew they was gonna make a run, but I thought anyway, like you say, you still got to play, and you still got to play for. And the game is 32 minutes,
Mhm.
not 24, 27. It's 32 minutes, and uh oh, I didn't see that, Coach Blicker. I gotta look for it. You gotta send it to me. They don't went. He said that Evans made an IG post, man. Golly. Oh, so so just to um talk about the other for you all that for like I said, the first week is 1A, 2A, and 3A, boys and girls this week. Next week is 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? So we told you who was 6A, but we'll just because we know we try to provide you with information, the other regions, other classes. 4A, their final four. Um, Suncoast is the 1 seed. They'll be taking on Boca Ciega, who's the 4 seed. Boca Ciega knocked off our other brother, Gibbs. Gibbs lost by 3 last night, man. Thought Murph, for what Murph lost, to have a shot to get back, man.
Mhm.
Shout out to Murph and his staff, man. I know you don't want to hear it because they lost, man, but so they lost. So Boca Ciega is the 4 seed, and the 2 seed is Bishop Kenny from Jacksonville, and 3 seed is Atlantic. Seems like it's a little couple more Jacksonville teams I made this year. I don't know if it's the home cooking got them. Anyway, so that's 4A. Discovery. Listen to Coach Billy D with the free game. Let's target. We might need to target 4A next year. Let's get out that gauntlet we in right now. So 5A, which was the region that Arbondale was in. Arbondale gonna be sick because LeCanto made it. So the 1 seed is Pembroke Pines Charter. They play the 4 seed, which is LeCanto. Okay, Zora. So yeah, check it out so I can see it, man. And what can you do once the people beat you and they post that? You can't do nothing, and you got to wait a whole year before you can do something. You just got to eat it, right? You just got to take that one on the chin, man. So I know I'm gonna be mad when I look at it. I'll be salty when we lose. I'm sorry, but anyway, Pembroke Pines will play LeCanto. LeCanto is the 4 seed, the team that beat Arbondale. That all intents and purposes, we Arbondale going their full strength. I feel like I know Arbondale sick too. And the 2 seed is Fleming Island, which is another Jacksonville area team.
Mhm.
They'll be playing Tampa Jesuit. That's 5A. And then who you like on that?
I seen Jesuit. You know what I'm saying? I think they got a really good chance. But them teams from down south been having a chokehold on everything. But Jesuit got a really good team, and they're very well coached. They'll be able to stay in the game, but down south got it in the chokehold, coach.
Coach Blicker, man. Empty the clip on them, coach. Empty the clip. We here for it, man. Yeah, coach. Coach, what they talk about Santa Fe, man. Santa Fe beat 3 teams that made it to the Final Four. And was supposed to get drugged by Lakeland Christian. So pop your collar, coach. We're gonna leave that comment up there for a second while we. So 7A, the Final Four is, like we said, is Lake Mary, Orlando Oak Ridge, Sarasota, and Miami Columbus.
Coach, man, that's a Columbus Invitational.
Columbus Invitational, coach.
Yeah.
Coach, what that say about? That's a shout out to Coach. Coach Blicker played beat, not just played, beat 3 teams, including Evans. That's in the Final Four.
Yeah.
It's something to scheduling, right? It's something to scheduling. So that is all of the teams that have made it. So it's 28 teams on the boys' side. We got 2. There are 28 teams on the girls' side. We got 1. So we got 3 teams that'll be heading to Duval, 2 going up this week. Once again, we'll post it on the page, but Victory plays on Thursday night against Impact Christian at 7 p.m. Santa Fe plays on Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. against Miami Country Day. Santa Fe wins. Y'all hear me saying win. When Santa Fe wins, they will play for the state championship on Saturday. I'm assuming it'll be 3 o'clock again, or maybe 5 o'clock. It'll probably be 3 o'clock, right? Or 5 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock. Don't they do like 3, 5, 7, and stuff like that? and then when Victory wins on Friday night, they will turn around and play on Saturday, which will probably be the afternoon game since they won for the state championship. So that's this week is the boys, and next week is the girls. So, Coach, with y'all three, the only way you can watch the game, big bruh, Bo Peep, is on through the NFHS network. I don't think they're allowed to contractually let anybody else do it unless somebody's sneaking in and go live. But you know how they shut down TNJ. So I think the only way you can watch it is through NFHS because they got that, the contract. It's all about money now, So, so how do you feel, Coach, about us as a county, as we and see that's that, man. Coach Blicker for the win, man. Y'all say what you want about Coach Blicker, man, but Coach Blicker gonna support kids. He gonna support other kids. He definitely helped out Winter Haven girls this week. So that's why y'all see he got great credit with us, man. Because at the end of the day, we about kids, we about our kids, and he's shown repeatedly that that's what he's on. So shout out to Santa Fe and Victory, man, and Winter Haven. But what do we got to do, Coach, to bring 3 trophies back from Duval County since they done took it from us in Lakeland? How can we bring back 3 of them in the
Coach, we gotta suffocate people defensively. We gotta be very, very stingy. You know what I'm saying? Have a toughness about us. Play and do not give up easy buckets. Rebound. Try to hold people, get people out of their rhythm. Like I said, it's going to take defense, Coach, because every one of those teams, every one of the boys teams that are in it can score, and they can score in multiple ways. But my thing is, can you stop the other team from scoring? I think it's really going to be what we do defensively is going to determine whether we able to cut the nets down at the end. And I think the way that they've been playing, they have the tools, they have the opportunity. I think it's a new environment, Coach. That's what I'm more concerned about is the new environment. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take some getting used to. You know, and unfortunately, some people get stage fright, Coach. I've seen it happen where some of the best players go in there. You know what I'm saying, and don't play well. You know what I'm saying? So the team that settles down, first and get into a rhythm is going to be very, very important. You know what I'm saying? With Victory, they have veteran guards, which should be in their favor. And then with Santa Fe, you got the general that should be able to settle everybody down, get everybody involved. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that they get into a rhythm. But Coach, in the end, Polk County is known for being tough defensively. Every Polk County team that has won a state championship has been because of their defense.
And one great thing, Coach, that we all know is great guard play. Great guard play gives you a chance. Santa Fe has great guard play. Victory has great guard play. Winter Haven Girls has great guard play. And so when you got great guard play and you guarding people, you got a shot. Because at the end of the day, like we just said, I don't care how good Impact Christian is. I don't care how good Sagemont is. I don't care how good Country Day is or Providence. You still got to line it up. You still got to line it up. You got to line it up, and you got to beat us. And until you beat us, you ain't beat us, right? And so, and all it's a 1-game tournament. It's two 1-game. You go 1-0 twice, right? You go 1-0 on Thursday, 1-0 on Saturday. You go 1-0 on Friday, 1-0 on Saturday. Same thing. I know you telling y'all girls. We go 1-0 on Friday, 1-0 on Saturday. 2 1-game tournaments.
Facts. Have a short-term memory. You know what I'm saying? Something bad happens, man. Forget about it. Get to the next play. You know what I'm saying? You can't let it linger on. You know what I'm saying? And coaching wise is like, don't be afraid to make adjustments. Don't just leave your kids out there to die. If something's not going well, you gotta try something different. You gotta leave it all on the court, Coach.
Leave it all on the court. Coach Blicker, I'm biased. It's you can make a great case for Toby being the most valuable player in the state for what he means to his team and what he's done in his body of work. You can make a great case for that, and I would vote for it. They would say that I'm biased, but I don't care. It's biased, but his body of work supports it supports it. So you're not just out there. It's not just a wild,
No,
wild
with the
claim.
teams that they beat.
It has some legitimate meat to it. So, well, man, we are so proud of all of our teams that made it to the regional finals. We're very sad that Bartow we're not going. The blue is not traveling to Duval, but we are excited that the red and black of Victory is traveling. Is it crimson and gray of Santa Fe, and the blue and gold is traveling. So we got 3. It's better than 0, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, man, we just want to make sure y'all congrats to everybody, man. Congrats. It's not easy to get to the Final Four, and we have multiple teams that are doing it. And so obviously we cheering for Santa Fe and Victory. We will be watching and cheering and watching and cheering, and we're very excited that the kids get an opportunity. Like you say, Victory is a veteran squad going in. Santa Fe, Toby been there before. Most of the other kids will be, I think Newkirk was there last year too. So, but I love us. I love us until to different, Coach. I know you feel the same way. So we're excited that the kids get the opportunity to go. Coach Blicker, man, we got to protect Coach Blicker at all costs, man.
At all costs, Coach.
All costs, man. So, hey, man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight, man. That's all we got. Good show tonight, man. Good content. And appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Appreciate y'all support, man. Once again, shout out to y'all for showing up to the games, man. There was great energy at Victory, great energy at Santa Fe, and even in the losing effort, there was a great energy over in Orlando. So, man, shout out to y'all for supporting the kids. Continue to do so. They need it. They definitely gonna need it going up there to Duval, so especially if it's gonna be home games, essentially. Definitely need y'all to pull up on them and be supportive, be loud, and be active. They feed off of it. They need it, and they definitely appreciate it. So thank y'all, man. So next time, man, Polk Hoops, we out, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a good week, man. Thank y'all for rocking with us. We appreciate it.